haven't had a one-on-one with him. So I want this one-on-one more than anything.
Whitney.
You good? Mm-hmm. It makes me really question if Brad does want me around.
That was Chantelle on last night's episode of The Bachelor Canada, joining us now live in studio, sitting in with our Bachelor Canada panel. On behalf of Katie and Carla and myself, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So what's it like for you every Wednesday night on City TV to be watching yourself as part of this?
It's the scariest thing ever. I sit on the edge of the couch and I'm nervous, excited. You have no clue what's going to be shown. So it's just as exciting for me as it is for viewers.
Okay, and I must apologize for making fun of your ooh and your voice. It's not as shrill in person. She's very, very, very sweet, and so I apologize.
Look at that, live on television, an apology on a panel that usually pulls no punches.
No punches. No, one apology season.
Okay, you have questions now, I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely. Was it hard when you found out that Whitney got that one-on-one date?
It was so hard. I wanted it so bad. And, you know, she had already got quality time in Las Vegas. And now, after watching the episode, had gone to the hotel room. Snuck in and had that time with him. Yeah, absolutely. I really had a connection with Brad, and I want to further it, so I was really disappointed.
Chantelle, there doesn't really seem to be a villain like we've seen on some other seasons of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, but producers are kind of spinning Whitney as close to a villain as we're going to get. Behind the scenes, what's she like?
You know what, Whitney is actually, she's a sweetheart. She really is, but she's competitive and aggressive. So that is what is being shown. So she is going after Brad, and just in a different way than I would. You know, like I am more like a passive person, and she's just right up front, just giving her. So that's awesome. You know, for her, that's not my style.
Here we see a shot from that one-on-one date that you so desperately wanted. She was granted that instead. So that must have been tough to swallow, as you've indicated.
Yeah. So I know we were chatting in the green room too about, you know, just the other girls and the dynamic in the house, and you're so sweet. So you said it was all good, but was there one like dramatic moment or dramatic event behind the scenes?
To tell you the truth, we were all pretty relaxed with each other. We wanted to get along. We knew we were stuck in a mansion together. So it's better to build friendships, and that's what we did do.
What about Ryan's buddy, Bubba? What about her?
Have you heard about our interview with Bubba?
I just heard a little bit. I haven't seen it, but all I know is
it's colorful.
Yes, I heard it was very colorful.
Yeah, there was, you know, the comedian George Carlin said there are 7 words you can't say on TV, and she said one of them. So she took it to the next level. What was Bubba like? I mean, you probably only saw her for one evening, right?
You know what? Bubba was Bubba. Like, she was
yeah, that's right.
loud, flamboyant. Like, she was very interesting to watch the first night. So
look at you keeping it classy, Chantelle. We asked our viewers if they had any questions, and this touches on probably one of the things that you're maybe most well known for during this season, and that was not only your decision to either save yourself for marriage or at least remain a virgin up until right now, but to also tell Brad that fact about yourself, that detail, relatively early on. We have a message from a viewer here. I think you might know him. He says, Chantelle, it's Harley from Camp Sunnyside. He says, I was so happy when I saw you on The Bachelor Canada this season. My family and I rooting for you. We were so proud of you for sticking to your faith and your beliefs. That said, though, asks Harley, is there anything you wished you would have happened differently?
Oh my goodness, he is one of the kids. Me and my mom started a camp, and he's one of the kids that's been sponsored to our camp and has gone for 6 years. And he is amazing. Is there something I would have done differently? I don't think so. I was who I was, and Brad is so genuine. I want to be genuine with him. You know, being a virgin, that's something I am saving for marriage. So, and I need to tell him that, because when it comes to the fantasy date, I'm not going to be like, awkward, so I didn't tell you this yet, but...
I think as someone who has worked in promotions, having an opportunity to tee up a fantasy date with a devout pastor would have been a phenomenal episode.
It would have been interesting. It would have been very interesting for everyone,
we
including
have about
myself.
a minute left.
Yeah. Well, you just blew the whole facade off the fantasy date. I thought that was just all pillow talk and champagne and strawberries, but I guess something else happened.
I've always wondered what else. I mean, a lot of the times there's girls going on dates. Some girls don't go on dates, what it seems like, at all or for weeks. So what are the rest of you doing in the mansion for all the other times?
We are being very creative. I would bake a lot, and we would, as you can tell, we saran wrapped Anna to a chair. Me and Brittany, we built a fort. Like, you just have fun. You're creative, and that's what we did.
Okay, we have time for, oh, by the way, I wanted to read this tweet from a viewer, Naively Naked on Twitter is her Twitter handle, which is great. She says, first of all, you're so sweet to be speaking of Witchney that way, she says. But she also wanted us to pass along the message that she says, you know, she's not sure if she can actually watch anymore now that you're gone. You know, she says, basically, now that Chantelle's left, she was my favorite by far. I don't know if I can keep watching. So there you have it. But we're going to give the last word to Beth, a viewer here who says, first of all, please accept our condolences on the loss of your grandfather, which of course led to your decision to depart from the show. But she says, I have a brother-in-law who's single, a devout Christian, and very sweet. Would you be interested in a date? In other words, are you single right now?
I am single right now, yes.
And is there a church in Sylvan Lake people can find you at, Chantelle? This is your chat. It's an altar call of sorts.
An altar call, right?
You probably don't want to give that information out. Chantelle, it has been a total treat to hang out with you this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much,
Folks,
you
we can
guys.
tell you she is as much of a pleasure and shows as much integrity off camera as she does on. Chantelle, one of the stars, the memorable personalities of this episode of The Bachelor Canada, the first season ever on City TV. Of course, next Wednesday night, they're back at it. You can learn more at breakfasttelevision.ca. We're back with Bridget right after.